again, guys, we are at CES in Las Vegas. 24 edition kicks off here in the MSI suite. Looking to grab Windows at a crazy discount? Head over to scdkey.com at the links below and use promo code BPS25 at checkout to score a sweet deal on Windows 10, Windows 11, and Microsoft Office. Once you've completed your purchase, just click over to your user center, hit the green button to view your code, copy and paste it into your Windows activation settings, and away you go. Check out SCD Key at the links in the video description for Windows, Office, games, and more. Probably the most interesting thing at the show this year at the MSI booth is this. This is the Claw. And if it looks familiar, well, that's because there are a lot of companies now coming out with handheld PC-based systems, Windows-based systems. And this one is very similar to what we saw from Asus and Lenovo and, of course, the Steam Deck. The form factor actually feels really good. The grips are nice and contoured. It feels pretty good in the hand, although it is significantly heavier than something like a Switch, although it is kind of in line with what a Steam Deck feels like. If I could center this thing on the little... Get on there. All right, we're going to put it down here for now. Anyway, what makes this one special is those are powered by AMD, whereas this is powered by Intel. This is Intel's new 155H processor with ARC graphics. It's a 1080p LCD screen, and you guys will see this likely in February. MSI was showing off Project Zero at Computex this year, and they've now expanded that range of motherboards. Here we have an ATX version as well as a Micro ATX version of that same board. And what makes Project Zero special is that all the power connectors and fan connectors and SATA connectors are all along the back side of the board, making for a very interesting and neat presentation in the case. Now, the biggest limiting factor to something like this, as we have seen come from companies like Gigabyte, are that you need a case to support it. Well, MSI is working with case partners. They have first-party cases that work with the motherboards. As you can see, all the cables are hidden behind here. But the biggest concern was that they're not going to have anything else to put it in besides their own cases. So they've actually been working with both Corsair, Fantex, and other companies to come out with concepts that work with Project Zero, but also work with traditional motherboards, because all you really need with something like this is to be able to have the cutouts in the right places. As you can see here, all the cutouts are just right behind the motherboard, and they allow you to pass all your cables through in the appropriate places. Now, this is the limiting factor when it comes to this kind of a concept. Do you have enough cases to support it? And it looks like MSI is well on the way to having the partners to work with. So here is Corsair's contribution to the project. This is the Corsair 6500X, and it looks like any other fish tank case, except it's got the cutouts in the right place for all the cables to pass through the motherboard. Now, you will notice that there is still a cable to the GPU, and that is not a problem that they are looking to solve by routing the power through the motherboard itself. It's going to remain a connector that you plug in to the GPU in a traditional way, but they would hope that you guys can maybe hide it, move it out of the way, just to kind of maintain the whole Project Zero aesthetic. Next to it, we have main gear build in the Fantex NV90 case. So once again, it is the same case that you might be able to buy, the NV9, except there's no cables there because they're all coming from behind the tray. And of course, MSI does graphics cards, so we have all the new Super line of graphics cards. We have the 4070 Ti Super White, 4070 Ti Super Ventus, 4070 Ti Ventus 2X, 4070 Ti Super Ventus 2X White, the 4070 Super 12G Gaming X Slim White, and it is actually remarkably slim for a 40 series card, just 2 slots. And then we have another slim version of the 4070 Super. This is the Ventus 2X White OC, again, just 2 slots. And then on this side of the table, we have the 4080 Super line. So this is the 4080 Super Gaming X Slim White, and slim is, well, I guess it's relative. This is still a full 3-slot card. We have the Ventus 3X version of the 4080 Super. And then we got this guy. This is the RTX 4080 Super 16G Expert. And this aesthetic is certainly interesting. I actually really dig it because I like the way the Founders Edition cards look. And this has a very similar look to those Founders Edition cards with the full metal shroud and the back plate like that with the pass-through fan back there. Now I think this little shroud up here is just an aesthetic touch. But yeah, it does look pretty neat, and it gives you that Founders Edition look from MSI. We got two more products to take a look at, both on this table. These are the MPG Easy 120A RGB fans, and as you can see, they are attached together. Now, this is a new trend in the industry. There is some legal problems going on right now between Fantex and Lian Li, but MSI has gotten around that by distributing the signal for RGB versus PWM on different sides of the fans. And the way they've done that is with these little connectors here, and if I pull this out, you will see that the fans will stop, but the RGB will keep going. And then if I pull out the one on the top, the RGB will turn off. Except for this, which is what's getting the signal from the control box. Now these are going to be, I believe they said $130 for a 3-pack. They come in white and black, just 120 millimeter varieties right now. And these are also magnetic. So even though the connectors themselves aren't in, the fans actually stay together until you pull them apart. So these are pretty neat. Same implementation of magnets that Thermaltake was using, but with these connectors, these are actually going to be way more secure than the Thermaltake units are, because those did actually tend to fall apart, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely an interesting way to get RGB and PWM signals separate through two different connectors that go on the top and the bottom. And then the last thing we're going to take a look at is a pedal. Yeah, so this is actually a foot actuated prototype unit that functions as something that streamers can use for things like scene switching or sound effects or anything like that. So these are programmable, mappable buttons. You have 1, 2, and 3 that you can use as a foot pedal, so you don't have to reach and touch a Stream Deck or something like that. It could be on the ground, out of the way. Right now, this is just kind of a prototype. It's a concept that they've been working on. It's called the Liberator GP12, but there is no price or availability on this because, again, it is just a prototype. They're not even sure if this is going to come to market. But what do you guys think? Would you be interested in a foot-actuated pedal that you could map to different functions on your PC? So this isn't only useful for streamers, you can do other things with it. For instance, if you're a content creator and you have a teleprompter, well, you could use this to stop, start, fast forward or rewind the teleprompter, things like that, without having to use your hands or reach out and touch anything. It's just on the ground. So it definitely has a couple of different applications, but I don't think I've seen anything like this from any other company. So if you think that MSI should come to market with that, let me know down in the comments. So guys, that is it from MSI. Thanks for checking out our video from CES 2024. Stay tuned for a lot more coming here from Las Vegas real soon.